Okay, great. So for Cuba, the question was asked by Quinetta Crawford. She was asking, how do you book to Cuba as a vacation? The thing is, right now, our suppliers don't have contracts with Cuba like that. So it's kind of harder, and you have to book everything individually. Just not, it's not like a cruise. With the cruise, you could go and you have to pay for the visa, and you're there like 1 to 2 days, depending what cruise line you get. Um, for land, it's completely different. For land, it would mean your clients have to fly down to Florida. You would have to contact one of the charters in Florida to take you to Cuba, and then you're able to do the hotel stay and all that in Cuba. Um, one of our agents, Raymond, his some of his family own, the classic car tours, which is the ones that we did when we were out there. So everything has to be booked separately. Like the flights get booked separately, the hotel, your private charter, your transfers, all of that. So that is the only way right now that you could book that. If you guys were wondering how to book Cuba, I know that Apple Vacations at one point was offering it. I'm not entirely sure right now if they're still offering it. I did shoot over an email to Chris, not Chris, but to our new Apple Vacations BDM to see if they could give me some insight that I could provide you guys. So I am working on that for Cuba.
Okay.
So that's one of the ways to book that.
How about Denali?
How about what?
Denali, Alaska?
Denali, Alaska. To do a land vacation or to
Yes.
do
Yes.
that one I'll have to research. I'm not entirely sure. I think you could do it the same way. I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to find out and let you know.
Okay.
I haven't really. I know that they only book cruises for that, and then it's like one of those long cruises that you could get off the ship and go on a train and do all these other activities. But to do a land
Right.
trip, I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
Okay. Do you guys have any other questions? No? Any newbies
Mm.
on the line with us today? No? Everybody's so quiet. Don't be shy.
We're, we're thinking.
I see Rhonda is online, Norma is online, Mike is online, Roy is online, Shanita is online, Dawn is online. Anybody else? No.
I
Um,
invited some of the newbies, but no one I don't see no one yet from my group as yet. There's a few newbies.
oh, okay. Yeah, well, I just, you missed the first part that I was saying. I didn't really want to go through the entire back office because some of the ones that are online are already very proficient with the back office. I mean, if you have questions, I could definitely answer those for you. I'm still recording this session. It's just a general info one because of our suppliers right now. They're having a little bit of commitment issues because they have like trade shows that they're doing and so forth. So I will be putting up a solid schedule on Facebook once I get some confirmed dates with some of our suppliers. Hopefully, nobody cancels. But one thing that we are making sure is in the back office, there's going to be hopefully we could implement what Don was saying about putting a all suppliers list. It won't be under suppliers. It'll probably be under the resource center right here on the left side.
Oh,
And I'll probably just try to put it in there. Not the training center, the resource center. And
I have a
sure.
well, I'm looking at the front part where you have the clear highlighted, and I have my clear ID. I'm in this program for about a year,
Okay.
but that part is not highlighted. Do I need to call tomorrow and let them know?
No, what happens with that is Clea back in the day, maybe like a year or so ago, used to send us your Clea cards and we used to mail it out to you. Now they just send it directly to you. So what if you have a
Yes.
Clea and it's not highlighted, you need to take a color copy and send it over to the admin department and we'll go ahead and update it for
Okay.
you. Once you do that, then that will
Okay.
be highlighted.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Maggie,
Gotcha.
that doesn't include the embark card, right?
No, the Clea is for the embark card.
Okay, so because it says clear certificate on it, that's why I was asking.
Yeah, no, it's for us to know that you're a member. I mean, you could click it and become a member, and it takes you straight to their website. But in order for it to actually get highlighted, it means that you're actually certified. All my other ones are not because I'm doing the trainings all over again. Just as a refresher, I haven't taken them for like maybe 4 years, so I'm gonna redo them. Um, But yeah, when once you complete everything, and normally what we do when you're starting off new, we want you to take all 10 trainings. I know at one point we were saying to just take the 5 core and then you're good. But what happens is if you don't finish all of them, you don't get your logins to like to book cruises, to book hotels, to book vacations and all that. So if you're new, I would just say complete all the training videos, then send your logins request to travel support. And then another thing that has also been needed was for our new agents to complete the direct deposit that's right here under Resource Center, and to complete the tax document so that we have your direct deposit and your social security information for accounting purposes, because some of you guys are coming in through Surge and we're two different companies. They can't share information like that with us. Um, just like how you wouldn't expect a phone company to give a different phone company your information. So you have to send that in so that we have it and we can update your records. And then after that, um, you're good to go and you could start using all the features in your back office. Another thing would be, I know that I was speaking about the referral program. I'm not sure if you guys are fully aware how to use that, but we will be having a training on that soon to just further explain how the process works. It's very simple. When you do the referral program, you could just send us your client's information. Our our agent here in the office does their best to book this for you, and then if they don't book, they let you know. If they do book, they still let you know, and you still earn commission. It's not your full commission because you're splitting your commission with that travel agent, but it's booked at the end of the day for you. If you're starting off, or if it's something too complicated and you don't have the dedicated time, you could always feel free to send us that over. And before, we had the requirement of doing the first 5 trainings, and then you could do it. Right now you could do it without that. You could start doing referrals without finishing all your trainings. So I don't know if you guys knew that.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah. Um, I don't know if you guys have your CLIA card this year. The CLIA is $115. Um, so if you are planning to get your CLIA, there's a lot of benefits that come with it. Meaning, this year, I could tell you guys that when you want to do fam trips, they're going to be very strict. You either have to have a CLIA card or a I-attend card. And one of the first suppliers that I saw that are very strict on this is Disney. If you're taking the Disney courses, the Disney College of Knowledge, they're no longer giving you that free park hopper if you don't have your CLIA or I-attend card. They specifically
oh,
ask you for your sub ID with these 2 certifications in order for you to qualify to get it. Did you guys know that?
Yes.
no.
No. No,
Okay.
but again, that now there is a difference between the CLIA certification and the Embark card, right?
No.
No, they're the same. CLIA is the name of the company. They changed the name on the card. They changed the name. Instead of it saying CLIA, it tells you Embark ID card.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's all the same. And then
Okay.
CLIA still gives you those. Instead of giving you 6 free classes this year, they're only giving 2. So I'm still waiting for the links for that. And then also, they still give you the $2,700 in vouchers for extra bonus commissions for any cruises, any big cruises, river cruises that you do, regardless of what cruise line you're using. So they are
Yeah, yeah,
doing that.
I have an IATA card.
Okay.
My thing's not set up either. Can I send you a copy of that?
Yeah, send me a copy of it, and then I could definitely make sure that that gets highlighted for you.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Another thing that I do have to say that I've seen a lot this week, and I'm going to bring this up. I know that you that have been in the business long enough know, but if you are going to the PT and discounted travel to book travel for your clients, that is a big no-no. They do not pay commissions. The reason it's there, it's for you. Not everything on there is discounted. I don't know if you guys have ever played with it. I know I have.
No.
Yes.
I book my hotels through here. I could tell you that. The discounts are not that big sometimes. Sometimes they're amazing, sometimes they're not. It's just a hit and miss. So when you book through here, you don't get points because one, we're not Surge or the Vortex or whatever they have to offer. So there's been a lot of confusion with that. If you're new, this is not for you to book. This is not for you to give out. This is just for you and your household. If you want to book something at a non-commissionable rate, If you just, it's just for you to use. It's easier than having to go through every supplier and try to ask for a travel agent rate. For right here, you get a discounted price overall. So if you're using this, like I said, it's not commissionable. This is just for you. I want to make sure you guys are aware of that. If you don't like it, you don't have to use it. It's just there as a perk to you. Um, I know that in the back office you'll be able to see all the supplier, well, all the preferred. It's not, I can't say all the suppliers. Everything that's listed in their suppliers are all the preferred suppliers, meaning these are suppliers that our agents use on a daily basis. Um, if you happen to have one that you want to use, you could let me know, and then I try to get an affiliation started with them. Um, if they don't offer commission, I could tell you we're not going to affiliate because it doesn't benefit you in any kind of way to affiliate with someone that's not going to pay you to book their services or their product. Another thing I do want to advise is that now we are going to have 2 credit card authorization forms right here in the back office. Right now the credit card authorization form, I'm going to open it up to actually tell you what the differences are. So you should see a change soon. So the reason we're changing it is down here. I don't know if you ever noticed that on the credit card authorization form, it tells you to email it to Areli. So now there's going to be one that tells you to email it to Areli, and one will say email it to your travel agent. And then it's going to be your responsibility to give your client your email. Well, if you email it to them, they'll have it, but you have to give them your email so they can send it back to you. The reason we're doing this is because a lot of travel agents are using the credit card authorization form, and their clients are sending it to Areli, and Areli doesn't know what she needs to do with it. It doesn't say it's a markup. It doesn't say it's a service fee. It doesn't say anything. So the reason that we're helping you with this is that when you use the credit card authorization form for a markup and a service fee, you're going to use this one that you see right now, the one that tells you to email it to Areli. If you're just doing a booking just to have the credit card authorization form for your purposes only, or if it's a flight, it's going to say email it to your travel agent. Do you guys get that?
Yep.
Yeah?
Yes.
Cool. So I hope that helps you guys out. But if you do have any that are service fees and markups, make sure you reach out to Areli and let her know, hey, you're going to see a credit card authorization for so-and-so. This is for a markup. And then just let her know, because if you just send it to her, she probably won't know what to do with it. And then she's going to call you and ask you for further details, which is fine. But we're just trying to make it easier for you and not try to confuse your clients. So you guys are going to see that change in their back office soon. For the resource center. Go ahead.
I have a question.
Yes.
With the I think it's the not the cruise, the insurance part, where it asks if the person accepting insurance or not. Not because I have a group that I'm doing a cruise. Some accept the insurance where they're gonna pay which they paying the cruise line, and some say no, they're not taking insurance because they know they're gonna make it. Do I still have to fill out that form and send it to y'all?
You don't necessarily have to send it to us. What I normally advise is, one, have your clients fill it out regardless, because what if they travel and something happens, or what if they don't travel and they're going to say, oh, well, you didn't offer me travel insurance. They get really upset. They start calling us and tell us, hey, your travel agent didn't do this. This is the only thing that's going to save you from getting accusations like that. You don't have to, like I said, you don't have to necessarily send it to us. You could just upload it. You know how when you're doing uploads for your supplier booking confirmation or reservation number or whatever, when you're invoicing, if you're scanning it all to yourself, or if they electronically send it to you, just save it and upload it, because we'll have a copy of it. Or just keep it for your file with your client file, and in case something happens, we could say, hey, well, did you ever get this? Can you send us a copy? And then we'll ask you for it. This is very important.
So that's
because, Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, this is very important because it does happen. We have seen that happen with some of our outside agents that are just starting off, which is completely fine. We try to educate you as much as we can. But what happens is, if you don't offer them this and you don't have it, and say for example your client can't make it and they say, oh, but they didn't offer me travel insurance, I'm very very unhappy with this, you have to compensate me some kind of way. This comes out of your pocket, because if it gets to that extreme and they keep calling and they keep wanting some kind of compensation, then that's when we reach out to you and we're going to say, hey, your clients, they're not, this is what's happening. We have to step in as an agency. We're going to have to provide them some kind of compensation. And sometimes it can result to you getting like an adjustment against your commission to compensate your client. It normally doesn't happen. We try to help them as much as we can. We try to give them an alternative. I do everything I can to call the supplier, try to get them some kind of like voucher or some kind of compensation, some kind of future, like if it's a cruise, a future cruise credit, like I have done it, but I'm not going to say I'm successful every time. There's sometimes where our hands are tied, we can't do anything, you can't do anything, and your client gets upset. It does happen. So this is very, very important. Um, so I always try to either add the insurance to their total price and then just tell them that the insurance comes included and still get them to sign this. It's completely up to you. I know sometimes that may sound kind of not shady and untruthful, but in a way, you're protecting your clients and you're going to have a happy client at the end of their trip. So, however you want to word it, if you want to tell them, if you book with me, I do require for you to purchase travel insurance because X whatever reason. I don't
So
know.
the travel insurance that they get with the cruise line is not the same as what this form is. Is this two different things?
No, this could be either through the cruise line or through a third party. I don't book the insurance through the cruise line, to be honest. I use like Travel Guard or TravelX or Allianz that are provided in your back office, because when
Uh-huh.
you book travel insurance with the cruise line, sometimes they don't even give them money back. They just give them future vouchers for future cruise. And what if they never use
Oh,
it? And sometimes they give them a year to use it. So it depends on the cruise line. I would suggest them
okay.
to book it through, if you book your travel insurance through Travel Guard, for example, the travel insurance is
Travel.
normally 10% of their entire trip. So they could book a $3,000 trip and maybe their insurance is like 150 per person, or it could be 100 per person or
Uh-huh.
70. It goes based on the age also and the coverage.
Oh, okay,
So
okay, okay.
necessarily this doesn't mean you have to book it through the supplier, or if you want to book it through travel or whichever one you want. But like I said, I normally point to external. What do you guys do? You guys that booked a lot. Don, who do you use?
I use for myself AIJ,
Which is travel guard.
AIG,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I was going to ask you, do you find that Allianz is cheaper and gives you more coverage?
Um, I haven't really compared them, to be honest. I know some of them have a little bit more perks than the others, some don't. What I would do is pull up the perks of every single one of every package they have to offer and then base it
Okay,
on that. They're all really
okay,
great though, but we normally just go through Travel Guard. I know that through what is it? Travelex has really good commissions also, and they have all different packages that are kind of similar to the ones Travel Guard has. I mean, they're all great. They all do the same thing. They all cover your client, but it's not like when you
yes,
book it with the supplier that they have these specific restrictions on how they get their funds back. Because like I said, some will say, okay, well, they're going to get a future travel credit, or they're only going to get X amount of money because they canceled and we're charging them this. So what I would say is, if you want, these suppliers have their own trainings. Once you get registered with them, like Travel Guard, you don't need registration for, but Allianz and Travelex, you do. Take their training so you're more familiar how to use their system, and you could base it on that, whichever one you want to use. They're all really great. I can't stress that enough. It's just what you feel comfortable with is what you need to offer your client. So, being in the travel business, you learn every day something new. All of our suppliers offer trainings that are external of what we offer, which is what I do tell you guys to take if they have them available. I know that Travel Guard has trainings every Thursday. They haven't sent me any lately, so I'm not sure if they kind of discontinued that as of 2018. But whenever I do get them, I post them up on the Facebook page. If you have my Facebook page, and I'll go ahead and just share it on the Pro Travel Network Facebook. Um, but this is very important when you're booking. Normally.
I make all my customers. I don't even ask when I book. I just put in the travel protection. If they ask afterwards, that's fine. But you have to be careful because if someone is going with a pre-existing condition, going through Travel Guard is the way to go. In 15 days of booking your deposit, because
Correct.
then they have. They'll cover the pre-existing condition.
And the other ones do that too. They have pre-existing waivers that come with their policy, which will really help you out to have if they have a pre-existing situation. Like maybe this is not a good example, but we had one of our agents that booked a flight to Rome for their client, and their client died while they were on their way to Rome, like on the plane. So this insurance really comes in handy. The good thing he had insurance and he had life insurance. So, I mean, I can't stress it enough how important it is to have this.
That's right, because you never know.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate. I've never heard of something like that, out of all the time I've been with Pro Travel. That's just, it was his first time going to Rome, and he was going to go on a tour with his family, and then it ended up in something like this, and it's very unfortunate. So protect your clients. If you want to have that repeat clientele, take care of your clients. I know I've been getting a lot of questions about, when is it okay to tell your client, I am not available? If you work specific hours, that's fine. If you help your clients 24/7, that's fine too. You just have to be sure that when you tell a client that you're going to help them 24/7, be ready for those 3 a.m. phone calls, with emergencies that they may have or questions they may have. Because I know that a lot of our new agents are wanting to know, like, if I tell them if at 5 o'clock I close, that's fine. You're running your own business. There's no set rules on that. So I just want to make sure you guys know about that.
That's a good point.
But most of the people, when they do travel, they have numbers to call when they are traveling.
Yeah,
and
I
they should
mean,
be
you can
numbers.
supply them for, during travel if you want, customer service numbers if you want, but sometimes they want to revert back to talking to you as their travel agent. So that's what that's for.
Maggie, in a situation regarding, like, if a client is going on a cruise and they want to book air separate.
I'm sorry, I'm having a lot of feedback.
Well, they wanted to get the air. They wanted to buy airfare separate from their cruise.
Okay.
But now they purchased insurance for the cruise, but they would more likely be better off with Travel Guard to cover for their flight, their flights too, right?
Yes.
Have the cruise line do it.
So
have the cruise line book flights for them.
Yeah, you could have the cruise line book the flights for them, but sometimes the clients may want to go elsewhere. So in the event,
well, see, that's they didn't like the cruise line's airfare, though I thought it would be a much better advantage to book it all at once, because at least they're covered that way. The cruise line is aware of what's going on with that airline and stuff like that. But in addition, if they want to stay at a hotel, they also hook that up together also. But in this case, they didn't like the airfare, so they went and they wanted to book it separately due to cost. But I don't think that the cruise line's insurance is going to cover their airfare or their airline.
Yeah.
Unless you book the air with them, and they will guarantee that they're going to get you to the next port if your flight is late and you don't make the cruise.
That's with the Travel Guard.
No, this is with the cruise line. If you book your air through the cruise, they will guarantee you that if you miss it because your flight was delayed or weather or something, they will get you to the next port. Now, if you have insurance, the insurance will cover a hotel stay if you need it for that night. If you don't have insurance, it's on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, the unfortunate thing is that they didn't like the airfare that was offered by the cruise line,
They're really
so they
compatible.
wanted to book it separately.
I mean,
Yeah, sometimes you may just let them know, like, hey, if this happens, just give them a scenario just so that they're 100% sure that that's the route they want to take. Um, you know,
Yeah.
that's just, unfortunately, that's what's going to happen. You might have to book two separate
So
insurances, one for the cruise line and one for their
yes,
flights.
yeah. Well, so in a situation like that, would like Travel Guard, if they took the Travel Guard insurance, would Travel Guard help them get on the ship?
For flights, I would say yes, because it just depends. Like, if why did they miss their flight? It's kind of the question for that. Because obviously, if you miss a flight because you were late, that's on you. But if the flight was delayed and they're trying to get you on the next one, sometimes the airlines directly actually do that. Sometimes the airlines give you a hotel stay depending on what kind of delay it is also, regardless if you have insurance or not, but that's just some. I can't really name which ones because not all of them do it. um
See,
but
now here's a good example is like with this weather, like for instance, last week they had that issue, or actually it was what 2 weeks ago where they had, no, it was last week where they had the heavy snow, and those leaving out of New York,
mhm
um, they either couldn't get into New York because of that, or well, yeah, that they couldn't get into New York because of the weather. Um, you know, what's a good scenario with that? If they had the travel guard insurance, what would happen then?
you'd have to call Travel Guard, Mike, because if they had it with the cruise line would have made sure that they got to the next port.
Uh-huh.
But each you got to ask the Travel Guard for each, because there's platinum, there's gold, there's silver, there's
correct.
different things that you can buy with Travel Guard.
Yeah, so it's like she said, it just depends on the package and what kind of coverage they got. I can't really tell you what it is because they change their policies all the time.
Yeah.
So what I would say is you could call Travel Guard and they could explain to you how that would work in the event of. Sometimes you really don't even find out until it actually really happens. But if you
Yeah.
have, we normally advise you guys to book gold and up. If you book the silver and the basic packages, it's really not going to do anything for your client. But when you go gold, platinum, platinum plus, depending on what kind of what insurance provider you use, they have really good benefits when it comes down to that. They even give you a hotel stay, they'll give you meal vouchers. They take care of you because of what happens. Um, and
Yeah.
then they give you a certain amount of limit per day per person, depending on who's on the insurance. But it all depends on the scenario and what happens. So,
Yeah.
and then normally around this time of year, especially if you're going to New York, you should have insurance because we all know what kind of crazy weather goes on, on that side of our country. It's really bad snow days. They can't even land. They have to go back or they have to land at a different airport. There's just a lot that goes on that you can't. I mean, I'm not trying to say that it kind of happens a lot over there around this time of year. Normally like during wintertime, during like maybe late November, December, January, February, because it's snowing. But if you're coming to California, that won't happen. It doesn't really snow like that over here on this side of our country. So um, I would highly recommend them to have insurance if they're going out that way because of that. Because of
Well, but what would be like in a situation like that? What would really be the advantage, to get? I mean, because from our standpoint, we don't get, if the cruise line is going to sell like insurance with air and cruise,
mhm
we don't get a commission on it, but we usually push to go with Travel Guard.
mhm
And what if the client doesn't take the cruise line's insurance, takes Travel Guard? Um, you know, that's where it becomes a shaky issue because, like Dawn was indicating, at least they'll get an opportunity to get on the ship with the cruise line's insurance, but
mhm
Travel Guard wouldn't do that.
I'm pretty
I
sure
guess
they
we'd have to
do.
find.
I'm pretty sure they do. They wouldn't just offer you the travel insurance and not try to get you on the next flight. I mean, they have call centers all over the world that no matter what time of day you call, they will be there to assist you. So if
Okay.
a situation like that arises, then it's either up to you if you want to give the customer service number to your client in case of any issues and if they purchase the travel insurance, or if you're going to say, hey, you have my phone number, call me if anything happens. So it just kind of depends on how you handle that situation. If you're going to let your clients call you at 3 o'clock in the morning, or you're going to tell them, hey, call this number if something happens, and then you can still call me, or it just kind of depends how available you are to your clients.
Okay.
Yeah, because just because it's Travel Guard, it doesn't mean they're not going to take care of you. Travel Guard is one of the most respected travel insurances out there, and
Hmm.
I've never heard of a situation that they've never taken care of a client in a situation of either a death or they missed their connecting flights, or sometimes they even miss their entire trip. But the good thing about it is it's there for you. Um, I do know that we had a situation, and it has nothing to do with missing their flights or anything, but there was a travel client that came into our office and he booked a full trip and then he got travel insurance. He got platinum through Travel Guard and he ended up getting relocated because of a new job and they covered him. They gave him his entire money back.
Wow.
So, I mean, it comes in handy. You just have to know what the travel insurance have to provide for you.
Okay.
Right.
So that's why they're in the back office. If you don't have access to Allianz or TravelX, send an email to travel support and we'll get you registered for those. Travel Guard, you just click on the logo and it lets you log in. And you could see the benefits from there too. So if you want, you could also print it out and have it ready with you and you could provide that. It doesn't give pricing, but you could show the different packages to your clients and say, hey, well, like I said, you don't have to do basic. We normally advise not to, but you could print out the basic, the platinum, the gold, and then any other ones that they have to offer and just say, hey, these are the ones available. I could get you pricing, but this is what it covers. This is what it doesn't cover. So that also comes in handy. Um, so I'm a very visual person, so I like to have all that in front of me so that when they ask me, I don't just like say, hey, well, let me find out. I could just be like, hey, look, these are the packages. Just let me know which one you're interested in. And then, like Dawn said, they have 14 to 15 days after booking to choose if they want the insurance. So it's all completely up to your client.
Well, they have a longer than that for that, but you have up to 15 days if you have a pre-existing condition
Well, for the
that has to be.
pre-existing and for the
Yeah,
cancel for any reason, it's 14 days,
right.
standard 14
Correct.
days.
Correct.
But you could insure yourself anytime, even up to the day of traveling.
Okay.
But the limitations get smaller because the closer you get. But for the cancel for any reason and for the pre-existing, it is 14 days standard um, through Travel Guard, and maybe the other ones do the same thing. So um, yeah, that's a great topic. Did you guys have any questions?
Well, maybe we ought to have them back on to talk with us also.
Yeah, definitely. I will shoot over an email. I haven't talked to the rep in a while, but I'll definitely send them an email and I'm gonna try to get all the insurances, which is Allianz, TravelX, and um, Travel Guard to do a webinar for us just to further explain on situations like that. So hopefully I could get you guys an answer soon. Maybe not this month, but maybe next month we could get them on a webinar. Even if they can't do it with me on the line, if they have pre-recorded ones, I'll make sure that I'll share those out with you guys.
That'd be
Okay.
good. Yeah.
Okay,
Thanks, Maggie.
great. Any other questions today?
Maggie, will you be doing any? I think this is a subject we talked about before of like training. I think it was on the actual bookings.
What do you mean?
Um,
That
no,
could mean
no,
a
it
lot.
was on markups. Markups. It
Markups.
was. Remember, there was a time like before the holiday that subject came up, and you mentioned something about maybe we'll do a training on the markups,
On how
and
to
I was
use them or how to fully understand it? Or what do you mean?
well both.
Oh yeah, we could definitely do that. Let's do
And
that.
the other one is I have a kind of an issue because I've gotten mixed instructions on when you're doing a booking, when you do the to show the price and the commissions and all that other stuff. I was given some information and I don't know which is the right way anymore. So I'm wondering if there will be any kind of training on that.
Yeah, what I'll do is I'll see if I could get actually Areli to join me on that because she does more of the markups than I do. Um, so I'll speak to her and see if we could get on a webinar. If our suppliers aren't unable to make it, then I'll make sure that we do a webinar on markups. I know that we also want to do the one strictly for referrals and to be in depth in with referrals. If For the referral one, I think we're going to do a pre-recorded one because our travel agent here that wants to do it, she's very, very busy doing a lot of the referrals that come in. So we probably do like a 15, 20-minute one for that. But for the other one, I'll get together with Aurelie and see if we could team up to do that. And then we could all learn. Like, I know how to do markups, but she does daily bookings. She deals with a lot of the markups. She actually gets the markups and process them for you. So I think normally, like how I tell you guys, I rather get it from the source, and the source is her at this time for markups. So I'll get together with her and see what we can get done.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions, everyone?
No, that's it. I mean, for me.
All right, Miss Marks. Well, thank you so much for you guys listening in today, and great conversation. For all of you that didn't speak tonight, don't be afraid to speak to us. Like I said, my name is Maggie. I'm from the Travel Support Department. Any questions that you have, let us know, because these are the times that we could all get together at the same time and speak about it and have a great conversation. If you call in, sometimes I'm always on the phone and I can't get to you, so join in. If not, then just post it up on Facebook, and I'll definitely do my best to try to answer that for you. And like I said, the next webinar is going to be on the 22nd, I think. Wait, no, 25th of this month. So the last webinar of January is the 25th at 5 p.m. And the next one's going to be not the next one, but one that is already pre-scheduled. That's going to be with Celebrity. Is going to be on February 22nd. So make sure you tune in on that, and I'll send out the webinar reminder on that through the actual newsletter. And I'll do more to keep you guys updated and have good bookings of our suppliers doing webinars for us. And then I'll keep you guys updated for the webinars through the suppliers for insurance, because that's a really good topic that we spoke about today. And I'm really glad that we were kind of able to go through that. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Great.
And just a quick thing,
Mhm.
Maggie, as a comment, I just want to thank you again for all the help that you've given us. You're a very fantastic person, and
Yes. Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks, Mike. Greatly appreciated. I know sometimes you guys feel ignored by me, but trust me, it's not me. It gets crazy. It's getting to start getting really, really busy, and you guys are going to see it too, because like I said, tax time is coming and people want to start booking. So, um, whatever you guys need, make sure you feel free to reach out to us. Even if it's not me, I have 4 other people in admin and travel support, so feel free to reach out to us.
Okay, then have a good night.
Good night.
Right.